I don't just talk about other people's stuff, I also make my own. Books in particular. To date, I have 4 books you can check out on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and the short story collection Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Hop on down to the description for Amazon links to all 4 books. Enjoy whichever ones you read, and enjoy the video.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Omni viewer, and this is just an update that has some pretty big announcements within it about the future of the channel, about other prospects beyond the channel, but I don't want to give too much time to just this introduction, so let's get right into it. First of all, I'm sure some of you may have noticed some things being put out here and there which hint at the return of Atomic Roasts, a series which was one of the first things I did with this channel, but which I have not done in a very, very long time. And I've actually been meaning to address why that is. I know some of you guys have been wanting me to bring Atomic Roast back, and I've actually got stuff in my collection that I have specifically because I think it would be good roast material, but there is a reason that I've been hesitant to bring it back. Well, actually, there are 2 reasons. The first reason is that Atomic Roasts take a while. Of all the different kinds of videos I do, they take the longest amount of time, because they are done in that sort of recap, cracking jokes at it style of review that was really popular back when internet reviewing first took off. And that requires, in order to write it, you gotta watch the movie, but you also have to be taking notes during the movie. Then you gotta take those notes and you gotta work them into a script, but I also don't want to just be cracking jokes the whole time. Sometimes even back when those reviews were just starting out and they were the big thing, I would watch some of them and think there was no review there. It was just a comedy sketch, basically. I want to actually make a point, so I try actually working a proper review into these things. It just takes a really long time just to get it written. And then, of course, you gotta film it, do the audio recording, edit it all together. It's not necessarily as quick to do as other videos that I like to do. Plus, they're negative videos, and while I don't believe that I should just be positive all the time, I do prefer to put out stuff about things that I do like. I'm not an inherently negative person by nature. But still, I know you guys have wanted Atomic Roast for a while. I've been meaning to bring him back, but the big reason why I haven't is because of Pacific Rim Uprising. That was the last Atomic Roast that I ever did, but you won't find it anywhere on the channel. Thing is, after all the time I put into it, all of the effort, picking it apart, making sure every single point I made was rock solid, and spending hours editing all the footage together, what happened? Universal basically blocked both parts of it as soon as they were uploaded. And I could not appeal it on grounds of fair use, so I just had to take them down. And that basically is what took the wind out of my sails when it came to Atomic Roasts. I was like, okay, these videos already take so long to do, and I just put all this time into it, and this was the result. I just felt no desire to do it anymore. But again, like I said, I know a lot of you guys have been wondering if I would ever start them again. And I have been meaning to, but that specter of Uprising has always been looming in the back of my mind. Well, I decided nuts to that. I'm finally ready to get back into it, and I won't be alone for its return. I will actually be collaborating with Nathan Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault, among various podcasts, to do an Atomic Roast of the movie Bravestorm, which is a sort of modern update of the tokusatsu series Super Robot Red Baron, but, well, you'll see when we do it. At this point, we don't really have a release date for you just yet. We have only just landed on this as our subject, and we're going to start working on the script. It will happen this year. That much I can promise you. And depending on how long it takes to actually write, who knows? It might not be that far down the line. For right now, all I can tell you is that Bravestorm is going to be the subject, and it will be happening this year. And if it goes well, who knows? There will probably be more. I have got various other subjects that can only be discussed in a roast format. But for now, just rest assured that it is coming back, so keep your eyes open. Now, for those of you who have been wondering why my upload schedule was so slow in January and why a lot of the things I did put up were either simple unscripted videos like this or things that were relatively short and not necessarily deep, all things considered, well, there is a reason, and a perfectly good reason. I've been writing. A lot. Some of it is scripts for future videos, but more so, I've been focused on new books that are coming. And I figure I may as well tell you what that's going to look like. Now, the book that is closest to being ready for publication right now is Occult Mafia 2, title pending. That book is currently undergoing revisions, and once those revisions are done, and I've got everything just right where I think it's ready to get out there, I will publish it. Much like with Atomic Roasts, I can't really give you a release date at this point, other than I do still intend for it to be released this year. If I'm smart about it, I might be able to time it for October, maybe have it be a Halloween event. I at least want to have it out there in time for Christmas. But at this point, again, all I can tell you is it is happening this year. That will be the next book. Of course, I know for a fact that some of you are wondering about another sequel that you would be more interested in and that you've been talking about and asking me about for a while. That would be the sequel to Operation Red Dragon. It is in the works. I am working on it. But I will be completely honest with you guys, it is giving me a little trouble. I know the direction I want the story to go in. I know what the characters are going to do. I know what the tone is going to be. I know the themes and everything. But every time I've sat down to write it so far, I reach a certain point and I realize I've got like 6 or 7 different beginnings, and yet the plot still hasn't started. This is not working out. So I'm not entirely sure what it's going to take to actually get that going. I think I've got to streamline a couple of things, maybe take certain subplots that I thought would be good for this story and save them for another story. But I am going to buckle down on it. I am going to get it finished, I promise you. It's just giving me some trouble right now, which is what happens. Writers reach points where they are just kind of stuck with certain stories, and you never know what's finally going to get you over that, or when it's going to come. Rest assured, though, I am working on Operation Red Dragon 2. I'm also working on a sequel to Emerald, and that one is proving to be tricky simply because Emerald's got a little bit more of a mystery element to it. Not that it's anything on the same level as Sherlock Holmes or Hercule Poirot or what have you. But that requires me to make sure things actually make sense. So it's moving along slowly because I'm trying to pay attention to everything I put forward. But it's in the works as well. However, there is another work which might actually be ready before either of those. It is a space opera, which is as yet completely untitled. I'm not sure what it will be called. All I know at this point is that it is a space opera. Something I've been meaning to write for a while, actually. I'm a big fan of those kinds of science fiction things. I know I haven't spoken about them that much on the channel, but I really do enjoy those sort of things. Classic Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica, Forbidden Planet, John Carter of Mars, C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy, all of those things. I really do enjoy them, and I've wanted to write something like that of my own for a while. And what finally got me into writing this particular one was that I watched a documentary about Chesley Bonestell, who, if you don't know who that is, you should. He is like the space artist. he did these planetscapes and these scientifically accurate yet still speculative at times paintings of space travel or possible space exploration techniques. And he did them in the Hudson Valley River style, I believe it was called. A type of painting that's about landscapes, and it goes for realism. It doesn't embellish or anything, but it's all about capturing the grandeur and expansiveness and scale of the landscape to a point where even though it is realistic, it becomes mythic all the same. He did that for outer space and other planets. You need to look at his work. You need to read up on him. Watch that documentary. After watching that, it just felt like that there was just something in my mind and my heart that said, I need to do something like that, but with words. So I've been working on this story. I'll give you a brief idea of what it's about. There's a planet, not Earth, where the people have not yet developed space travel, but they are facing a crisis which threatens their existence. So they send a signal out into space asking anyone who's out there to come and help them. This brings 3 different ships to their world. One of them is from an intergalactic peacekeeping force, one of them is from an empire that's always looking for new planets to conquer, and one of them is a pirate ship. And that's all I'm going to say right now. All I will say otherwise is that it is set in the same universe as my other books, that is, the Tales from the Omni Vault. It does have a bit of a kaiju element to it, and there are no human characters in it. All of the characters are aliens. I just wanted to see if I could actually pull it off. I don't have any random human character who's inserted in there who like comes from Earth and is the hero, like Flash Gordon or Star-Lord or one of those guys. I do have humanoid characters in there, characters who might look human but have something off about them that clearly denotes them as not human, but otherwise, no actual human beings like you or me. I mean, presumably you, I don't know. You actually look human, but it could be a clever disguise. I'm on to you. Yeah, you, the guy in Florida. Don't think you can pull a fast one on me. Anyway, though, that's really been the thing I've felt motivated to write recently. It might be the next thing you see after Occult Mafia 2, I don't know. But once I've gotten the first draft of that out of my system, I'm really gonna buckle down on Red Dragon 2 and Emerald 2, especially Red Dragon 2, because I know that's the one you guys are waiting for. So, that's the book side of the update. Something else that's in the works is that I'm attempting to set up an Amazon merch store, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically, instead of the self-publishing thing, it's like where they let you put stuff on t-shirts or throw pillows or tote bags or phone covers, things like that. I have set it up. I am waiting for it to be like processed and approved, which could take a while, so I don't have anything to point you to yet in terms of actual merchandise. But I'm confident it will get approved, and once that happens, I'm going to start things relatively simple. I've got some templates for shirts that just have a little bit of text on them, and I'm thinking maybe I might do a little throw pillow with the Omni symbol on it. And if those do well, I'll move on to stuff that features characters, either from my books or from the channel, and just, you know, do a little bit of extra stuff out there. Some stuff that maybe you guys might be interested in. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have anything up right now to show you because I'm still waiting to have it all approved and everything. But once it is up, you will know. And I guess one other thing I can tell you, although this is definitely a very long way off, is that I'm attempting to develop an animated series. And by that I mean right now I am in the process of working on a show Bible for it, with different character bios, a list of potential story ideas, things like that. I I know how long animation can take, believe me, and I know that I cannot possibly do it by myself. So it's going to be a very long process, but it is something I really want to get done. I feel really motivated to do this, I don't intend to abandon the channel or anything. I do still want to keep doing my reviews and video essays and whatnot, but I'd like to make something even more substantial than that. Not that the books aren't substantial, of course, but you know what I'm saying. So, I've been working on this idea for a while now, actually. In fact, I've kind of been working on it since I checked out the Animaniacs reboot, and sorry, folks, I was disappointed by it, but I did think I can do better. So, I'm gonna try. I have this whole cast of characters that I feel are relatively good for putting into any particular scenario. Snazzy will be among them, actually. He insisted on this, and who am I to deny him? At the moment, I've been reaching out to certain people I know who are also writers or voice actors and seeing if they might be interested in getting involved in this once I get it off the ground. The thing is, I don't know at this point how I'm going to get it off the ground. I don't know if I'm going to try crowdfunding to make a pilot, because I know that there have been dubious examples of that happening in the past with certain people. Not naming names, but I'm sure you've heard. I don't know if there's some other thing I can do. A part of me is wondering if maybe I should start it as a webcomic first to sort of get the idea out there and sort of establish it, and then try developing the cartoon. Whatever the case, this is something that I want to have happen. It is something that I am seriously developing. Hopefully, I can give you some kind of major updates on it at some point. And I'll figure out how I can actually get it funded so that I can make at least something of it. But, like I said, that is a very, very long way off. What isn't a long way off is Valentine's Day, and I'm working on a Valentine's Day special that involves the Looney Tunes, which I don't think any of you guys are prepared for what I have in mind for this particular one. But that's my next project for this channel. And I guess those are all the major updates I can give you. As you can see, there is a lot that's been going on behind the scenes. Of course, it may not seem like a whole lot if you were to see it in verite, because I'm just sitting at my computer doing this for most of it. But what's happening as I'm doing this, as it's appearing on the screen, hopefully it is as epic as I'm intending it to be. And when you guys see it, you will be impressed. Or you'll just want to hit me with a car, I don't know. The point is, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. Some of them are going to be ready sooner than others. But there's a lot that's coming down the pipeline. And I hope you guys are interested in at least some of it. Right now, though, I got the Valentine's Day special and the Atomic Roast to get working on, so I'd better get to that. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off.
Congratulations, you reached the end. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to consider supporting us on Patreon. Of course, the other way to support us is to go to Amazon and check out our books: Operation Red Dragon, The Kaiju Wars Part 1, The Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Also, check the description for links to DeviantArt and other platforms we operate. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.